started at Marshall with his brother with the Knicks, and now he's turning around this Marshall program, and here they are in the NCAA tournament. Coach Christopher Russo here on Sirius XM. How are you today, okay?
That sounds pretty good with that intro right there. I'm a pretty good guy there.
Yeah, you are a pretty good guy. What a job! Oh, you found, you're a family of coaches. Your father coached forever, and here it is. Look at yourself, 70 years of age with this kind of shot. How does it feel right now coaching this basketball team?
Well, I'm loving it because, as always, you got good players and people who want to be on the floor and play for Marshall, not play for themselves, and be active. I'm very blessed to be where I am.
You listen, superb job and an opportunity late in life, Dan. How about that for a sec? Getting this kind of opportunity.
Well, it's early in life. I still got a long way to go.
There you go. That's the attitude. That's the attitude I like to hear. But you know how it is. I mean, you're not 30, so from that standpoint, it's your alma mater. But you take them to the NCAA tournament first time in 30-something years. That's got to feel pretty good, no?
No, it feels great. At the reception, we had 2,000 people at the selection show, and people here all fired up. I had 50 people watching practice that come out every day, and I came back to West Virginia to retire anyway, and this is kind of a working retirement. And I came back for the people, and I haven't been disappointed. It's a great place, great little university. Yeah,
good job. And we're all familiar with the movie, and I know you have heartfelt scenarios there, too. You played very well there for Marshall, late 60s, Danny, and you played in the NIT, and you guys ran up and down the court. Give me some thoughts on those Marshall teams in, say, 68, 69. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Well, the first one was 66, 67, and that was we went to the semifinals that year. We beat Villanova, one-point shot by Bob Allen right without any time on the clock, and it was in the old Garden, and they were shaking the goal. I saw it going sideways, and when we beat Villanova, Bob Allen sank two. We won that game. Came in against Nebraska. They had Stu Lance, who's now the announcer for the Lakers.
Oh, good player.
I used to walk by him at there, and I go, "You remember that score, don't you?" Because I think we beat them about 30. It was like 117 to something. We just killed them. And then we got beat by a Rutgers team that had Bobby Lloyd, and then the famous Jimmy Valdano, who we became friends. He guarded me, and I guarded him, and every summer we'd get together and argue over who beat who. And neither one of us knew. Probably both of us stunk. But got beat, and then we played in the consolation game. So, no, wait, I'll take that back. Marquette was the one that we got beat by 3 with McGuire coaching, and then the next game was a consolation game. And I told Jimmy half my players didn't come in last night. Come on. So, it was a lot of fun.
Now, that was after Frazier took his Southern Illinois team in there, is it not?
No, that was the same year. On the opposite side, he won the championship.
Now, don't forget, folks, nobody knew who Clyde was. Maybe Danny did, but the regular fan didn't.
Yeah, he let you know real quick in that series.
Yeah, I mean, he shows up in New York. Here's Walt Clyde Frazier, and he plays uncredited for the Salukis, and away we go. And, of course, we know with Clyde with the Knicks. So those are fun days, and the NIT was a big tournament in those days, as Danny can tell.
16 and 16. 16 there, 16, and a lot of times the winners of conferences all came to the NIT because they got beat in the tournament. And so you had some of the best teams. I think Duke was in it. Syracuse was in it. There was a lot. So we finished fourth and came home to a big celebration here at the airport. Everybody was really excited.
Well, how about that?
We're trying to renew that.
Well, why not? No, I know Bobby Knight used to go to the NIT all the time in Army. Was he in that tournament that year or not?
I don't remember. He wasn't a big enough name back then.
he turned out to be pretty big, but I understand. Now,
I know Bobby well. If he hears this, he'll be mad at me.
Yeah. Listen, I know that he went there all the time. Pistol Pete Maravich played the NIT. Didn't play well, but he played the NIT too there, his junior. All right, now how about I love the movie. I know that you were. I had your brother on once, and he was babysitting some alumni who are on that plane. And I read the quotes. Good story there by Dan Walken in the USA Today, who does a good job. I read your story today. You knew everybody on that Marshall football plane, huh?
Yeah, I was pretty much involved. Doc Hagley and Shirley Hagley had kind of adopted me as their second child, as godparents almost. I lived behind their house. babysitted their kids, and in fact, their kids were with me when it went down, and we had to break the news. But
wow,
it was tough times. It was a tough thing. I was assistant coach at Marshall at that time, and you know what? Things were never the same. I kind of wandered off down to Myrtle Beach, just left, and of course, Mike graduated and went on where he went to, and I went down to Myrtle Beach, started playing golf for about 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden somebody was at the principal was at the golf course, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just down here playing golf. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my life." He said, "Well, my sons saw you playing in the men's league. Would you like to coach at Sox City High School?" I said, "Okay."
Wow,
so that's how I ended up there.
Wow, almost so that terrible tragedy took that much out of you for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. It was that was a tough one because Rick Tolley, the football coach, was from Mullins and lived across. He used to coach me as a baseball coach. He was a heck of a baseball coach, and he would come in and help with the infield and stuff like that. And Marcel Latterman, the kicker, was dating my ex-wife's sister. Ted Shoebridge and I were close friends, and that was something that 10, 15, well, about 50. Well, when I went to Phoenix, I couldn't even talk about, but they put the movie out, and I had to do about 12 interviews and crying through about half of them. Toward the end of it, I think I finally got it out of me and can talk about it.
And I thought I thought they did a great job at the movie. Now, you lived it. Is it true? Is that they do a good job at the movie?
Well, I never went to the movie, so.
Oh, you never went? Never went.
It's something I can't do. I can't do that, and I don't do the fountain ceremony that's here.
Wow. Okay, Joy. Let's get to another scenario then,
Okay,
which is more important. I learned something, Dan. Great job. And your brother's got the fame, and your brother feels the same way. So I talked to him about it before.
Anybody was connected to that. Marshall is a unique university that's about people, and it's a lot of family there. So, you know, when it hit, it took a big part of the community, not just the football team, but there were 3 or 4 doctors on there. A lot of people who were responsible for the Big Green. Doc Hagley's the one that started the Big Green, and he also started the MMI and really kind of helped strengthen the program to get players like Mike and Russell Lee and Tyrone Collins there.
Wow. All right. Now, your team right now likes to shoot the ball. I hate to go to that was a bad transition on my part, but you get the idea. Fun team. Yeah. You won your conference tournament. You had a little momentum at the end of the year, beating Middle Tennessee. You beat Western Kentucky by a point there last Saturday night to get to get the bid, and now you get Wichita State. Let me hear a thought about that for a sec. Go ahead.
Well, you know, it must have been destined that we were to win. Mike was in town. It's just coincidental that they were playing Dallas. He was in town. He was able to get to the game. He sat across from me. We had a 12-point lead with about 2.5 minutes to go. We had 2 or 3 things bad happen, and they really capitalized on it, and then drove down with for the last shot to beat us. We were up 1, and I swear to goodness, I think my dad, who passed away this year, reached down and just knocked the ball out of the rim. And then when they got the rebound, tried to put it back in, I think Doc Hagley, the guy I was talking about on the plane, blocked it. So we end up winning it and put Marshall where they hadn't been in 31 years, and that's why I came back. I came back to try to get us to a national scene. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to play Wichita State. And Wichita State is funny. 3 weeks prior to the Marshall crash, and it was somewhere on that their airplane went down with half their football team.
That's true. Oh my God, you're right. That's right.
Yeah, and I was sitting next to Doc Hagley, who was on the Marshall plane, and he looked at me and he goes, "You know, we'll never feel what they're going to feel about this tragedy." And then 3 weeks later, he was on the plane. So we're kind of connected in that regard. And I also, Greg Marshall and Donnie Jones, I kid them. I said, they were here at Marshall, learned how to coach basketball. Now they're at Wichita State. So, you know, they both coaches here. So there's a lot of connection there. It should be a fun game. They shoot a lot of threes. We put up threes. We open the court. They shut it down a little more. They got a bigger kid inside that can really post up. So, but it should be a great game. And Greg has done a great job with that program. And we're just looking forward to getting there and seeing what we can do.
Well, Dan, this spot, I will root my ass off now. I'm going to root anyway because I love the movie and I love everything about Marshall. I will root my rear end off for you now on when do you play? Thursday or whatever day you play. Thursday?
Friday.
Friday. I will root.
1:30 Eastern.
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'm a sports fan. I will get to the game. Friday at 1:30. I will root my rear end off for you, and you did a great job here. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk. Listen, I do a show Friday with Bob Wenzel, the old coach. If you win, you're getting a phone call. Pick up the phone, and I want to talk to you. You got that?
All right, well, let's go Herd.
Yeah, there you go. Dan D'Antoni, that is why you do sports talk right there. And what a job by Eddie Erickson. There's a guy that you do. How about that Wichita State story? How about that? Where are you hearing that anywhere in America? Tell me where. Hoops tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.